Right, I've got the DJI Mini 4K out here at West City Park in Festus. I am testing the range. Not a hardcore. I couldn't get my mic running until just now, so not a crazy one. But here we are, about a mile and a half away, and we are still at all 5 bars. So I'm at West City Park, and I am at the middle school now. It is showing full signal to the remote. Very impressive range. Cruising around town here. Cruise control on. I hadn't intended to record anything on the first battery. This is my first battery out here, but as soon as I got out of the car, train started rolling up. And then I didn't record the train, so here we are. See if I can maybe catch it. It's going to be pretty far over here on my left. Speed this up and throw it in sport mode so we can get moving a little quicker. There's 55, the interstate, running through Festus. And the terrain might not cooperate with us a whole lot farther this way, headed more toward the north. We'll see if we can bump it up a bit. Yeah, that train right there in the center, that is...
Max altitude reached.
That is the one we are looking at. Throw the cruise back on. And I just realized I am not recording video yet. There we go. So now you got something else to look at, something a little bit cleaner. Nice 4K video from the Mini 4 Pro. Let's see if I can hang on to this. Now I have plenty of altitude on the return to home. It'll turn back. There, you can see how far off that is. And we got some hill and some trees in the way in between us. Bring it on back this direction. We'll see what kind of stuff we can get here. It's a long train. A lot of coal comes through here. There's a couple engines in front and a couple more in back. You know what they say about mullets. They're business in front and party in back. That would be a non sequitur. There we got good service again. Good signal. This is the high school. Your farthest to the right is the Performing Arts Center. And farther up the building is everything else. Then that next building, centered in frame now, is the Intermediate School. This year that is grades 4 and 5. They're working on construction. They're building onto this wing here on the left side. That used to be 6th grade, till they just moved over to the middle school. All right, you see the football stadium? Right in front of the football stadium, that is the elementary school. Right now, that is K through 3. So this school year, 2025-26, will be K3. But next year, when they finish off this new wing, 3rd grade is going to come on over So we're going to have kindergarten through second in the elementary, third through fifth in the intermediate. Back there in the distance where we started earlier will be 6 through 8 middle school, and high school is high school. And baseball field, football and marching band practice field. That's our central office building right there. Let's mosey on back toward the park now. Don't want to push this battery too hard. It is not one of the plus batteries, it is a standard. So we'll leave it in normal mode. We'll just go full throttle and set the cruise. I'll probably just bring this straight in and it'll come in for a landing. And put a fresh battery in and go a different direction. See how far we get. Look, a little water on the way in. Joachim Creek. Nice little breeze here right now. See how the little windsock does on this DJI Mini. So all those dashed lines are something to do with the histogram. I have not messed with that before now, so when I get this landed, I'm going to take a look at that setting. Maybe turn that off for now. I've got the camera in autofocus, auto exposure and everything, so shouldn't have too much need for the histogram anyway. This is a beautiful park. That augmented reality home point. Turn off cruise, getting close enough. There we go. Still getting used to some of these controls. I haven't had this drone very long. Started on my Mini 4K. Moved on up to this Mini 4 Pro. Let's keep it between these trees. And we'll just manually land it for now. Oh, a little too wobbly here in my controls. Not very smooth. There we go. We'll bring it on down.
Landing.
Oh, windier than I thought. But nice landing on the pad. Let's look at this histogram now. Oop. Okay. Alright, turn the histogram off. Oh, that's the overexposure warning, I believe. Let's see. Let's pop up real quick.
Takeoff.
And let's look at
Home
something
point updated.
bright and compare those. That with and without these soccer goals should do nicely. Okay. And turn overexposure warning on. Yeah, so that's the overexposure setting. Bring the histogram back.
Battery level is low.
It sure is.
Aircraft will return to the home point in 10 seconds.
All right, well, I'll just let it do that. Turn the histogram off again.
Return to home.
And let's check this out. Yeah, I got plenty of altitude. It's gonna really get up there. Yeah, that's set to, what, 300 feet? 328. How about optimal? Will it change? Okay, it will change immediately. That's pretty neat.
Landing.
I'm just going to point back the same direction it took off from. So it looks like our dot. Is it going to hit that pad? If it doesn't, I'll probably just... Oh, there, it's bumping itself over. Alright, we'll shut her down here. Alright, this is battery number 2. It's actually battery number 4, but who's counting? Pop on up. And I did not go straight up about 21 feet. I've not read that, but I've heard that that is what DJI recommends to get a good, precise landing. One of these days I'll read the whole manual, but I kind of like tinkering. So this battery, we're going to take off this direction. We'll just have a look over here. This is outside of the normal part of the park that most people would use. Anytime the creek gets high, this tends to flood like crazy. Like this whole lower field will just be absolutely soaked underwater. The trees won't be, of course, but you're not gonna use any. Not sure what I'm saying. You're gonna get wet. Give you an idea of how this elevation difference down here. All right, and that says it's about 5.5 feet off the ground, so it's about a 25-foot difference, give or take. That's a nice shot. Let's go up and over. Sticks forward together. Yeah. Nice Friday afternoon in August here at the park. School is about to start up. People are out. You might hear music going, people riding their bikes around here with the big speakers going. It's a little railroad bridge. Let's just look down here at the water so we can get a little closer. You can see our reflection in this water. Oh, facing away from it. Probably ought to bring that back up. Get better signal. There we go. We'll just pop back up. There's some water here in the middle of the park field that I can get to a little easier. If we want to see a nice reflection of the Mini 4 Pro. The bugs are out here talking. I'm sure you can hear it. So we'll pause here over these tracks. And let's see what's another setting we can play with while we have battery. That's all normal. I'll probably keep all that the same. Maybe something we can mess with in the camera setting. Did I press record on the camera? I did. Okay, just checking. I knew what that is. I've played with these different grid lines. I do like the center. Frame guide. Oh, okay. Yeah, different aspects for whether you're watching on like widescreen or if you're watching vertically on a mobile device. I have seen something about that before. White balance. I don't know enough about that to bother messing with it, so I'll keep all that manual. Transmission shouldn't be much to worry about there. It's all automatic. So I guess in short, I didn't actually change anything right here. Let's follow these tracks. And I am facing directly away from the drone. You can see there in the bottom left. That's why we only have three bars of connection. If you were watching earlier, it's a mile and a half with still 5 bars. So there are 2 sets of tracks here, go on either side of the park. This is not the line that we were following earlier with the train full of coal. This one will take us here on this western end of the park. The park does continue across the street. So we got baseball fields, and they are still working on a splash pad for the kids. You may pop over there and see how it looks. Make sure we're up and over everything here. Should be well over the lines. Doesn't look like anyone's playing ball here tonight. Let's get closer up to the splash pad. See if anybody's there. If nobody is, maybe we can get down to it. Get some closer shots. Don't want to mess with anybody. Okay, there's actually a truck backing up there right now. Or pulling in, looks like. Handy to have video that zooms. So we'll stay up pretty high. So this part is just the park. It's also pretty new. They're building it at the same time. Over this way is the splash pad. They'll have lots of fun stuff for the kids. Get a look at the creek. So let's go over here. Talking about water shots earlier. So the bigger of the two ponds is the one that people like to fish in more often. So we'll go over here to the smaller one. It's not ever placid, of course, when those fountains are running. We might be able to see something. Let's look. All right, we are pointed straight down now. No, I don't think we're going to, of course, see the augmented reality shadow, but I don't think we're going to get a real shadow or reflection here. Water's a little muddy. Boy, it is golden hour, though. Look at that. That's beautiful. Looks like it just kind of flashed having connection with the satellites for a second there. I've never seen it do that before. This one or the Mini 4K. But it's working fine now, and it's right in front of me. I'll be fine either way. Alright, so in that last one, we started with the set altitude return to home, and it worked. It was taking us, way up there, 300 some odd feet. I think we kept it changed over to the optimal return to home. So let's try that from here. All right, so it's still going to bring us up, but not nearly to 300 some odd feet. It's going to get us probably about it's steadying off at 85. All right, we will cancel that. And let's look at a couple things. All right, so that is manual focus. So now we're in auto. Focus to that. Let's focus to the barn. Let's do barn. Yeah. And let's see, how far away can we focus? The concert pavilion's over here. Okay. That's pretty good. Back to auto. What does it do? Come to that box in the center, looks like. All right, let's bring it on home now. See how it does it now. All right, let's see how close it gets. Again, I did not take it off. The recommended way to get a true precision landing. Will it make its way back over to the pad? Grass isn't too tall, but let's bump it over there. We'll just do this manually. Yeah, it's definitely a little bit breezy down here at the ground. There we go. All right, we are right there in the pad. Maybe come back and do another battery. All right, we got a third battery going, and I've got both of the Mic Mini lapel mics. This time I'm just going to go straight up, try to get the precision landing dialed in. All right, that should be plenty. And I want to play with some of the Quickshots now. I've not done that before. So let's see what kind of stuff we can look at here. This soccer goal might be a good subject. So turn off the video. Let's look here. Quickshots. Okay, we can do a drone, a rocket, a circle, helix, boomerang, or asteroid. Well, let's start at the top. The drone. So draw around the object. Okay, let's see how well it tracks. Let's get a little closer to it. And it's right out there in the middle of this big open park. There won't be any issues. Might need to redo here. Yeah, now let's try it. Okay, let's see how this looks. 3, 2, 1, drone. Okay. Alright, that's quick shot number 1, the drone. How about a rocket? So focus it downward and rapidly ascend. Alright, let's try something different. Let's use this one of these benches. So maybe start a little closer to it. Okay. Let's center it up a little bit better horizontally. There we go. Okay, and let's try 3, 2, 1, rocket. Pretty new with my video editing software. But if I can figure out how to do it, I will put these quick shots into this video. If I don't, that will be probably a little disappointing. Kind of anticlimactic. If I don't, you'll probably never see this. Okay, so we got the drone and the rocket. What should we do next? A circle. That should be pretty straightforward. Or maybe not straightforward at all. It should be more circular, if you know what I'm saying. Okay, let's try a circle around our whole soccer goal here. Will it pick it up from that? Nope. Okay, so I did it that way, and it looks like I can choose a direction. That way looks fine to me. Let's see what this looks like. And 3, 2, 1, circle. Well, it is a beautiful time to be flying. Long shadows are nice. All right, circle looks good. Well, as far as we can tell. Helix, it will ascend, fly in a spiral, and expand gradually, centered on the subject. All right, let's try our same soccer goal, but let's try it from, how about here? Okay, it's going to go the other way, and radius of 40 feet, that sounds fine. We're just experimenting right now. All right, Helix. Looks like it, it chose a dot beyond the soccer goal as the focus point. Okay. I'm sure other objects, a car, a person, or something would be a lot easier. Something that's not largely translucent. Alright, so yeah, it did gain a little altitude and got a little distance, for sure. And then it just pops right back to where you started. Pretty slick. All right, boomerang. So oval shape around your subject. What could our next subject be? We don't want to get too close to the tree line. How about the other bench? We did the close bench earlier. Let's start it from this way, looking into the sun. We'll try it from right about there. All right, let's try it. Yeah, that looks like that one's going to be better centered than the last one was. I've not gotten too brave with this Mini 4 Pro on the obstacle avoidance, but I bet we could get to something a little closer to the trees and we wouldn't have any catastrophic errors. But I'm not quite ready to run that experiment just yet. Okay, so that was the boomerang, and then the last one is asteroid. Let's see, fly to a max height and shoot a panorama. Okay. That might be something. So the subject won't have as much to do with it this time. Let's see, where is... Here, let's try this little guy. Speaking of getting a little closer to some obstacles. So let's use this little covered picnic table. Well, let's see what this looks like. An asteroid. Okay, and now it's just going to go through the process of doing a sphere photo. That's interesting. Well, I thought it said it was going to do max height. I think I've got it set to just under 400 feet. Alright, it's going to pop right on back. I'll go ahead and stop it from going back down there. Alright, so those were, I believe, all the quick shots. Let's see. Alright, now how do I get out of quick shots? That probably isn't it. Okay, there we go. Just had to hit the thing. Alright, so those are some, or one of each of the quick shots. What are master shots? And do I have enough battery to play with this? Oh. Well then, okay. We'll kind of figure something out automatically. That'll be interesting. Let's try this other soccer goal. Flight route parameters. Let's see, get this out of the way. Medium. Should be fine as far as I know. I don't have a clue what it's going to do yet. We'll just be watching. So starting with the droney. And some folks next to me now doing some disc golf. That is very popular around here. And we're doing a very far circle from our goal. See, my mic receiver is not pushed in all the way. I sure hope it's been recording this whole time. Alright, pitch up and fly forward. Staying pretty far from it still. Alright, now it's going to do a closer circle. Camera down, fly forward. Okay. Okay, that was a MasterShot. Look forward to seeing what that looks like in the edit.
Are you frustrated today?
Let's just mess with the camera a little bit.
Alright, we can go.
There's some angsty teenage accent over here. I'll fly off from them. Let them go with God. I think I'll call it for this battery now. I'd like to see if I can stick around a little later and see if I can get some night shots. I know this drone should be able to do that. Here's a nice last image of West City Park. All right, we have one more battery left. This is one of the Plus batteries, and it is getting a little bit dark. So let's see how this works. There is a night mode on the video setting. So let's go ahead and start recording, and let's get rolling. There you can see does have a light. All right, we're up for our precision landing. The autofocus is doing a pretty good job here. Now, I did have a warning earlier that it is not going to work with obstacle avoidance because there's too little light. So we'll just have to fly a little bit more carefully, but I'm usually pretty careful flying here. I say that like I didn't just lose one for range and have it pop up and come find me. But hey, you gotta live a little. Take a look at the barn. So it's this has been fenced off for years. So they just did this renovation. This barn is very old. And they've been working on it for quite some time, and now it is open. It's available for rent. I think the first event that I heard of in there was a wedding. And you can imagine on a nice summer afternoon to look out that big door right there. Like even this time of day, would be beautiful. Coming from the Mini 4K, especially with the Plus batteries, this Mini 4 Pro is very impressive on battery life. There. Oh, you gonna get it? Ah, got a one hopper there. Good job, pup. Now let that auto focus do some work here. That is a nice Missouri sunset right there. Friday night in the middle of August. Go get it, pup. Let's watch him get you another one. Can I zoom in night mode? Let's see. Sure can. All right. Oh, almost caught it there without even a bump, without a bounce. Let's watch him get one more. Let's go over here. Oh, he may have caught that one. Kind of hard to tell from this distance. I'm not sure if my mic's picking it up, but the bugs are nice and loud. Sounds like summertime. Let me switch over into the other mode here and see if I can make it look more accurate to how it is in person right now. See, I think I'm not good at this. I think EV will get me there. The other direction. Yeah, that's about what it looks like right now. Put it back where it recommended. Go back to auto here. Alright, let's go out toward the road, and I want to try something. So I'm going to stop recording video. Okay, and now in photo, okay, so we set it there, and then if we go into pro mode, and we go to the shutter speed, the farther this way goes, that's just how long our exposure is going to be. And I want to see if I can get some streaks from oncoming vehicles. So let's try here. Let's turn that way down. And go. Okay. Try another one. May not have really gotten much from the trees on that one. Another one coming the other way. Well, like I was saying, we got this Mini 4 Pro. We got battery life for not days. That would be hyperbole, but we got a lot of battery life. Anyone driving in the park? Oh yeah. It's maybe not dark enough out here yet to get a good effect here, but we'll try it. Now, if I can figure out my editing software, once again, I will try to throw that in here. I don't know if I make this one video. This is just one evening of a bunch of stuff I'm trying out here. Let's make that even longer. 8 seconds is the max. Let's try it. If I get out to where they're headed, most of them will be heading here back toward town. Maybe turn that EV down farther. Or would it be further? Comment below. Alright, wonder if that one turned out. Down some more. Is that my minimum? There's -3. Okay. Here, let's see if we can reasonably get a little lower. Don't do anything crazy here. I like this drone. I'd like to not ruin it. Oh yeah. That might look great, or all of those might be ridiculously overexposed messes. We're going to find out. And maybe with somewhere with faster traffic, those could turn out better. Well, I don't know. You probably know before me. So the night mode, well, I don't guess it's in night mode. I just have the settings. What does auto look like right now? That's pretty close to what it looks like in real life. Let's go back. Just flying around here in sport mode. Oh, here comes one this direction. We can get a nice diagonal street. check later, see if that was any good. Let's go back, put everything back on auto. All right, and I guess that EV setting stays even when you go into auto. That's interesting, because it looks a lot brighter on the screen right now than it does in person. Let's go back to 48 megapixels. There, I can hear it again. All right. I think if I don't push anything and press cruise, yeah, okay, that's how you take it out of cruise. If you're pushing anything, it will not change. All right, what other things can I try here that might be interesting in dark? Any other video settings? Slow-mo. That's probably, I don't really have anything moving. That's probably not going to be an interesting thing to look at right now. What about a dark hyperlapse? All right, let's just do a circle. And let's get a long shot around our favorite soccer goal here. See if we can focus this far away. Yeah, all right, let's give it a try. Oh boy, it's going to take 4 minutes. This would be a good time for me to stop yapping and put in some music. So I'll do that. Alright, creating video. Groovy. We'll fly around a little bit while it does that. Alright, video is created. Let's go back to video mode. And it is getting pretty dark out here now. Probably going to make rounds and shut the park gates pretty soon. Let's see. I don't spot them yet. Here, I'll see. Is that the lens blurring? Is that just motion blur with low light? I think that's probably just low light motion blur. So let me go to cinematic mode. I almost have not used that at all. Record some more of the 4K video. And let's see. Let's take it nice and slow here. Yeah, from where I'm sitting, you can just kind of see the lights on the barn as dots. But this camera has some impressive stuff it can do at night. We are learning that. It is also very possible that that lens is just getting fogged up. Welcome to the less lovable part of the Midwest in summertime. Humidity. A Hawaiian man, while I was in Honolulu once, asked where we were from, the group I was with, and we said, Missouri. He says, "Oh, I bet the heat and humidity here is killing you." We had to laugh at him a little bit. If it's summertime here and it's in the 80s, you feel near death pretty quickly. Because as we love to say here in the Midwest, it's not the heat that gets you, it's the humidity. 80 degrees in Hawaii, I mean, there's a reason people think of that as paradise. Places like Hawaii, it's pretty nice. What is our top speed in cinematic mode? About 12 mile an hour? Maybe more like 13? Okay. And while we're experimenting, let's stop. Let's go to normal mode, and everything's calmed down by now. I think it's somewhere in the mid-20s is our normal mode speed. All right, so about 26. And I think it's something in the neighborhood of 32 for sport mode. Let's go for it. Oh. All right, so 35 and change. Now from where I'm looking, the lights on the drone are kind of normal. You can see it, but it's not overly bright. I, of course, don't have a camera or anything down here. Nobody wants to look at me. Let's bring it in, make it a little bit more obvious. And let's slowly bring it on back. I'm not sure how a return to home would do in these low light conditions. So we're not going to mess with it. I'm going to do this. So I'm not actually sure what I was seeing was... Okay, no, it was the LED. Auxiliary light is the big bright white light on the bottom. So I'll turn that back to auto, and we'll see that kick itself on when it lands. So there's our landing pad. I don't... Where does it think our landing pad is? Oh, it thinks looks like some feet up into the air. All right, so I'll do this. Kick the camera down 90. Make sure it's up plenty high. There are some pretty big trees, not too far from where I am. Let me turn that light back on. Okay. Better idea. Okay, there's our H. Let's flip it around that way. Same way it took it off. And turn that back to auto. So I don't know if you'll be able to tell in the video, but once it gets down to a low enough altitude, that light kicks itself on auto magically. This probably makes for a riveting video. I don't know, the 4K probably won't look very different, but the just watching a white H grow slightly. Okay. The LED light is not on yet. Let's see what altitude it turns itself on. All right, there. Oh, you pretty easy to tell. So about 5 feet. Let's see. Maybe a little higher. It stays on higher than it turns on. Let's come back down. Okay, so you have a neighborhood of 5 feet where it's going to kick on for landing. That's neat. And I wasn't watching earlier to see if it does it in the daytime. Alright, put her down, DJI. Very good. Okay. So, that is a little night flight to end things here today. A lot of neat stuff this Mini 4 Pro can do. I'm looking forward to flying this a lot more. Trying out some more of the bells and whistles as we go. Hopefully get a little better. Just a little better. All right, this is Dejuan's Aerial Quad channel, and we'll see you next time.